Hello, my name is Katie. Welcome to my shed. It's Sunday the 9th of March and yes, I'm wearing the same clothes as last video. That's because it's the same day. I didn't get as many days off this week, so that meant not as much time in my shed. So I'm having to multitask and do multiple videos in one day. This video won't get finished today. I have got a couple of days off this week because I'm working next weekend. So it means that I should get this, hopefully get this painting finished. And the idea today is that I really want to start, and if I can get it finished, amazing this week, but we all know how long it takes me to finish paintings. Unlikely to get it finished this week, but hopefully get it to a point of being happy with it ish this week. I'm going to do the water rail that I saw when I went out painting, when the first video that I did when I went outside painting. That one was at Lackford Lakes, which is in Suffolk, and there was this little water rail and the two mallards with it, and they were sort of under the bird feeder. I'll insert the photo now, but the picture quality is really rubbish because it was a cloudy day, my phone's not great, all of those excuses. So I'll insert the picture so you can see what was my inspiration for this image. I'll do that now. I mean, look how cute that little water rail is with the two mallards. There is the moorhen there, but I don't think I'm going to put him in the picture. Yeah, so that's the inspiration for what I'm going to paint today. I'm going to be doing it on a square board, which is 12 inches by 12 inches. I've already primed this one with the clear gesso. I probably didn't need to prime it because it's a Windsor Newton canvas board. They're normally pre-gessoed, ready to go, but I like to put a bit extra texture on. You won't be able to see it, I'm not even going to show you it, but there is a little bit of extra texture on through the gesso, and I'm going to map it out now. I think there's going to be a lot of bird, not a lot of scenery on it, because the mallards were quite big, and I really want to be able to show how small. Well, the mallards weren't big. Mallards were mallard size. What I want to do is show how small the water rail is in comparison to a mallard, because I think until you see it, you don't realise how diddy they are. They're tiny and very cute. So that's my plan with this one. So let me turn you around and start mapping out how I want it to look. Okay, so I've drawn it out. I've had to redraw this mallard because I did him too small to start with and just made the water rail look too big. So still not 100% sure on the sizing, but I think it'll be fine. And I'm going to make a start. I normally start with the background, so I will do that and then just block in some colours and then do some detail later. I'm probably maybe time lapse you. I know I get a bit bored of the time lapses, but I can't work out how else to do it. Okie dokie, so I've got the underpainting in, or most of it anyway. I'm going to leave that to dry and I'll come back to it in about an hour or so and get a little bit more in. Excuse the local dogs, they're clearly all very feisty this afternoon. This is where we're at. It's gone a bit messy and a bit, well, but fear not, I've been in worse situations. What I need to do is I need to get some darks in on this back duck and then sort this head out. The background's going to have a little bit more work on it. Yeah, it always goes like this, where you just think, oh, what have I done? It's awful. And then hopefully it'll come back together again. But we'll see. Anyway, right, I'll do a bit more. What it is, I think I need a bigger brush because I'm just going a bit too tight too soon. So let's swap out for a slightly bigger brush and see if we can knock out some of this mess. Well, I feel like I've made a sufficient mess on those. I'm not going to be back in the shed for a couple of days, so it'll have a good time to dry, and then I'll do my usual, sand it back, re-gesso it, and then carry on working on it. No, it's not awful. I guess I'm not used to showing processes like when I'm trying to work through a new painting, whereas with something like the blue tits that I did with you, I've done that image a few times, so I kind of knew how it was going to go, whereas this one is something I've not done before, which is good. And it's a bit trickier. I think because the birds are such a big focus in it, just trying to work through how much detail to put in, whereas normally, like with the one behind me, hang on, move around a tiny bit, like with these yellow hammers, there's not a whole lot of detail in the actual bird because they're smaller. So I think it'll work out, it'll be fine. It just will take a bit of working through. So I will see you in a split second stroke 3 days time. Have a lovely, oh God, why do I do this? So have a lovely few days. Have a nice blink, and then I'll be back. Hello, welcome back. It's Wednesday now, and I'm just cleaning my palettes because I didn't do it before. We all know I like peeling it off. It's clearly my guilty pleasure, peeling off the paint. I've been thinking about this duck painting and looking at it for the last few days, and I think I'm not happy with the mallard's head position, so today I'm gonna have to repaint that. I paint it out and sort of relocate it, I think. And I'm hoping then the positioning will be all right. I need to work out what I'm going to do for the foreground. And I also think I've realised that I'm struggling with it because a lot of my other paintings have all that space around them, and that's what creates the movement, is the space, and I can put movement into the sky and or into the leaves, and because it's so close on this one, it's really hard to get any movement in. But then I guess they weren't moving very fast. It's not like watching tits or finches that buzz around all the time. They were sort of plodding around, grazing. So maybe I need to just come to terms with that, and then hopefully I'll feel happier with it. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to clean the palettes and then reposition my mallard's head and then get cracking. Cool. So this young man's come to join me and has claimed my seat, haven't you? Yes. So I'm going to have to stand because I'm on soft touch, I think. Help me do the palettes. You're just going to get in the camera. You're right in the shot. Look, what's this? Oh. I don't think I'm going to get much work. get much work done, have I? Oh my goodness me, yes. Oh, who's the handsome cat? Do you think I need permission to put other people's animals on my YouTube? I don't know who you belong to, so I can't ask. I'm trying to do some drawing. Would you mind moving? Thank you. I think I might have to boot you out in a minute, mate. It's like... Oh my goodness, right. Come on, out you come. You can't stay in here terrorising me the whole time. Come on, be gone. Out you go. Come on. Out you go. Let's try again. I'll turn that heater off so you can hear. So I'm just trying to make a bit of space here. So I'm going to take that out and then bring the beak position up a bit. Straighten the neck a bit. So right, I'm going to try and get rid of those bits. Let's see how we go. I think it's feeling a bit better. Certainly the shapes feel better. The beak needs a bit of work. I'm happier with the background. I think there's still a little bit to be done there. Foreground needs loads of work, as do the ducks. I'm not really sure I'm going to get it done by Saturday, but I'm going to let it dry and come back and work over it in a moment. Excuse the mess on the table. Right, I'm going to cover it up. I'm going to sand this back a little bit because it's just getting too heavy for my liking, and then restart working on it again. So that's what I'm going to do now. I won't do all of it, it's just bits of it. I feel like there's just too much paint on there for my liking. Brushed off the loose paint dust, and I'm going to go over it with a little bit of gesso and some of the key parts to knock it back a little bit. I know, I feel like I say this to everyone, but it just adds a little bit more texture, and I feel like, I don't know, it just makes it feel better for me. And I get that it might feel pointless. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just put the heater on it, get that dried, and then I'll tidy up a little bit because I've got myself in a right mess here, as you can see. I don't know if I should show you, it's embarrassing, but yes, gonna pop it on to dry. Can't quite work out how to get me and the painting in with it on the table without rearranging the whole shed, so it's here. I feel like it's coming on. I'm much happier with the placement of the mallard's head and the water rails coming along. The grey needs work, but the browny colours I'm happy with. I don't know if you can see from there. Let's bring it a bit closer. Yeah, you can see the face is not quite right. I'm really struggling with the beaks on all of them. Like, I'm not sure what's going on here. It's turned into like a triangle. But yeah, I think it's coming on. Quite pleased. I'll do a little bit more of it now and then show you it in a minute. I don't know that you want to see have any more time lapses, but I might film it and see whether it's interesting and then leave it out or not leave it out. Okay, so I've done a bit of faffing around today and it's looking much better. Really pleased with how it's going. There's still work to do obviously, but these things take time, don't they? I think that will be all I get done today because it's time to go do school run, and yeah, so I'll be back in on Friday to get a bit more done. Good morning, it's Friday and I'm going to try and get this picture finished-ish today. The shed is an absolute mess, which always happens when I'm painting, because I don't tidy up after myself. And I think I'm too old now to change. I don't think I'm ever going to be the sort of person that tidies up after themselves. I'll wait till I'm done and then I'll do like a big cleanse afterwards, I think. It started off really cold this morning and I was properly wrapped up and hatted and scarfed and everything. Now the sun's come out. Not that you can really tell because I'm in the shady part of the garden, but the sun is out. It has got cloudy and I think we're going to get some rain in the next few minutes, but for the moment it's very lovely. And yes, the plan is to get these ducks finished and the water rail. Actually, looking at it, I'm pretty happy with the water rail. Let me bring it. Oh, stuck to the thing. Pretty happy with how the water rail is. I probably won't do anything with him for a little while, and she's all right as well at the moment. The head's not quite right, but I'm okay. So I think today focus is going to be on my boy here, getting him a little bit more where I want him. This shape isn't quite right. I mean, yeah, not quite right, but that's my plan for today, is to have a go on him, and maybe a little bit in the foreground, although I quite like this part here. It's just sort of this area here I'm not quite sure about, and up here. So let's have a look and see what we can do. Okay, after a lot of faffing around, I think that's going to work. I'll have to keep checking, because a lot of the video I took earlier in the week was just of my head, and because I've got a double crown on the top of my head, I just look bald, and I don't want to watch that, quite frankly. So let's see how we get on with this position. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit of blue, because although the heads are primarily green, I feel like they definitely have blue in them, or like a purple. But we'll try with the blue to start with, and then go in with some green. Not sure which one I need, if I'm honest. I have to mix it a little bit just to get it right, because their heads are kind of like petrol, aren't they? So let's see what we can do. I'm not sure this position's working, so I need to be, I think it's the left-handedness. Maybe we'll try you over the other shoulder. Okay, I'm going to try this one for a little bit. I'm using a strong colour like this blue. I do like to put it in more than one place in the painting, otherwise it doesn't feel right, and you end up with these weird blocks of colour, and it doesn't help. It just helps move your eye around, really, I think. Just saying, I'm not going to touch him. I'm just going to put a little bit here. So I spend ages on the head of this mallard, and you'll see I'm kind of like sculpting my way around it by layering the different tones and shades of green on there. Well, it started getting better and then I decided it wasn't right, so now I've got to rework a lot of it. I'm happy with the head of the mallard, but the body and the wing just isn't right. I just need to get the shape right, but I've gone in a bit heavy with the grey, and now I need to wait for that to dry so that I can fix it. So I'm going to leave it probably half an hour or so and then come back to it in a minute. Not sure if you can see that. Right, let's come a bit closer. If we can. Okay. So I'm just trying to get some of this shape better. Shape better? Goodness me, Katie. I need to learn how to speak. I'm just trying to get these shapes to reflect the actual duck, which currently it does not. Just move you around a little bit. Okay. So I don't get my head in the way too much. I was watching the video back yesterday when I started editing it, and I was quite pleased to see that I was right. It did go wrong, and then after a little bit of fapping it started to come back, so it proved that I do need to trust the process, so that's good. Some of these shapes are still not quite where they need to be, but this bit here is just not doing it for me. I wonder if I wanted to get rid of the sort of muddy, dirty colours that were on there, sort of dirty browns and things, but then I lost the shape completely. I just want to go in with some lilacs, sort of slightly stronger and a little bit of cobalt blue. Just feel like the whole picture needs to wake up a little bit, so hopefully that will do it. I suspect I'll end up having to go back over it and knock it back again, but it's just too neutral for me anyway. So I just feel like you need these areas of really flat colour to bring out where the texture is. That's how it feels for me. Because if there's texture on all of it, it just kind of loses, it just all becomes a bit of a mess. Might be a little bit too vibrant, but I'll go with it for now. Just want a little bit more of this back in this chest here. It's a little bit too vibrant even for me. Just get a bit of mixing white and knock that back a little bit. Well, hopefully it'll make it a little bit less intense. I'm not sure if this is just too much or not. I think it is. I'm just going to knock that back a little bit. Yeah, I actually feel like that's made quite a big difference. It's quite dark on there. Let me turn the light on, see if that makes any difference. Not really. I'll move it a bit closer. So I think what I need to do is do a little bit of work here. I actually quite like this now, so I'm going to leave that be. Do a bit of work here, and then need to go in with a fine brush and do some work around the eyes, and then I think I'm going to leave it for a bit. This room is such a mess. Shall I show you? I really must learn to work more tidily. So I think we need to let it dry. I'm much happier with it. I feel like the shapes are better, the colour blocking's better. I could possibly do more in here, but I don't know if I want to, because I'm not sure about that. So I'm going to let it dry, leave it up in the shed. You'll see it in the background for a few videos probably, but actually I feel like it's probably done. Let me know what you think. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for spending half an hour of your life watching me paint some ducks and a water rail. Hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, whether or not the format is correct. I did want it quite tight, but now I'm not sure. It's such a different structure to a painting to what I normally do, so it might take a little bit of getting used to. It's about to pour down, so I'm going to get into the house before that happens so I don't get too wet. Have a lovely week, and I will see you soon. Bye.